I have spent one whole month with the iPhone XS Max, and all I can say is, well, it could be a good phone. What's up guys, Unnamed Review Guy here, and this is the iPhone XS Max. XS Max? XS Max? XS Max? Okay, yeah, I'm not a fan of the name. But, in fact, the name is what has surprised me the most. Name aside, not much has surprised me with this phone. To start off, in the box, you get the literature packet on top. Okay, that's nice. Then the larger looking iPhone X in gold this year. Cool. Then the fast charger. Nope. Just the standard slow charger that Apple's been giving since the original iPhone. For multiple years. And last but not least, the EarPods with no 3.5 Q Lightning dongle. Hey, that's new. Bravo, Apple. Bravo. Something new. It's not a bad phone, really, but it has been 4 years since Apple created their first large phone, the iPhone 6 Plus, and Apple has not properly given iOS any features for the bigger screen. Apple is showing off, they're bragging about their big screen, which at the time of the release was the biggest screen on the market, but there is still no split screen, no picture-in-picture, reachability is a joke. The fact that I can't multitask on a 2018 flagship that is one of the largest screened phones you can get right now is crazy. How can you as a company say welcome to the big screens when you're not only years behind developing large screens, but the functionality to complement those large screens is missing? Especially considering that most Android devices have had these features for years. In fact, years before Apple was even making big screened phones. Now, talking about large screens, the iPhone XS Max is a 6.5-inch OLED display, 2688 by 1242 resolution, arguably one of the best displays in the business. Some people have been talking about some blue tint issues on this display, but I haven't seen any. But I could definitely understand the rumors because the screens are rumored to be manufactured by LG, which is known for their terrible blue shift issues. Now let's take a look at something that definitely does not have a blue tint to it, the camera. The XS Max boasts a dual 12-megapixel wide-angle and telephoto lens camera. This camera is still great, but only offers a slight difference over last year's 10. In real picture tests that I've completed, you really can't tell a difference between last year's iPhone X and this year's iPhone XS Max. I still believe that this camera is one of the best cameras for color reproduction, but then again, that's very subjective, so you would have to judge that on your own. Everything else about the iPhone is truly as expected. Face ID still works great, though it seems to be a bit faster than last year, but also, to me, seems to be a little bit less secure this year. Hear me out on this one before you start commenting. I would have this phone on my desk, I would have my face turned to my laptop, and I would notice it unlocking when the screen went on for a notification. Something I didn't notice with the 10, and I do have the require attention setting on. It still looks as good as an iPhone usually does with its premium materials that are found on most 2018 phones, such as stainless steel and glass. It still doesn't include a fast charger, even though that has been an industry standard for a few years now. It has the same lacking and restrictive iOS software. It still brings the opportunities of one of the best user experiences you can get for most people who just want ease of use and don't really care about anything else. And it's still an expensive thing, starting out at $1099 for the base model and going all the way up to $1449 for the 512GB option. Oh, I still have the same feelings on 512GB of storage as I did when Samsung came out with their Note 9. It's a huge waste of money for most people. If you were going for a 512GB phone, I would recommend the Note, as you can upgrade it to 1TB with a 512GB SD card for less than the XS Max costs for a 512GB phone. The XS Max in total is just the boring phone that 2018 is known for. Mostly the same iterative upgrade as the prior 10, without much innovation at all. The sad thing is you better get used to it, because the past repeats itself. It will be the same way for a few more years, at least on the iPhone side of things.